Be calling you a radical. Sorry about that last video. And if you don't know this, in Utah, it's more denial. We have a serious water crisis on our hands right now. It has not rained here since February, and the reservoirs, they are empty. And I'm literally there. And my friend's on the board, my best friend that I grew up with, he's on the verge of a catastrophe, and so let everybody know, get a heads up. I'm leaving tomorrow night. My flight, so I land on the 1st in DC. So I'll be at the peace vigil in front of the White House all week, doing my part, helping out Polipo, and helping those guys out for the election cycle. It'll be an historic, important time. And by the way, here's a prediction of mine, and I'm pretty good. Biden will win Texas. I mean, this young voter turnout, and I'm not a Biden fan, and I've got my vote, my form. I went in, got it. It's just sitting there. So, I won't vote for Biden. I won't vote for Trump. I'm not going to vote for anybody who won't, tackle the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. And this is important, and this is historic stuff. This study that came out, that Idaho's got out. I mean, they put so much weight and so much money into this. I argued with these guys. I said, are you going to come out of Fukushima and when they don't come back? They tracked them all the way to the sea. 660,000 small fries made it to the ocean. 27 made it home. And they come right out. It's not dams. Right in the ocean. That's the biggest story on Earth. COVID-19, from the sea. I said she's going to fight back. All this has been predicted 100% by Kevin Blanch. This is important. The oceans are the lungs of Mother Earth. Literally. The lungs of Mother Earth. This is... we have a catastrophe on our hands. Environmental. And, it doesn't... You're not part of the ecology? Tell that to COVID-19. We had 2,000 cases here yesterday. People say, only car deaths. No, 10, 15, 20 people a day don't die in Utah in car wrecks. What's happening right here, right now. So, I'll be in D.C. If you want to hook up with me, I'll be right across from the White House at the Peace Vigil. I've been helping out for years and years and years and decades. The anti-nuclear. It's the longest standing vigil besides Hiroshima and Nagasaki 24/7 on Earth. Right there. And a lot of people have done a lot of sacrifice for a lot of years to keep it going. It's not easy. I mean, when Trump tear gases the peace vigil, and I'm not voting for Biden. No. Fukushima cover-up, Trump had every opportunity in the world. He's worse than Obama, and I didn't think it was possible. He's the worst. 1.4 billion he handed out to these crooked nuclear reaches, testing nuclear weapons. He's an environmental terrorist. I mean, Obama was bad, real bad, to cover up Fukushima. But so the Idaho study. Sorry about that last video. It's the biggest story on Earth. 27 fish out of 660,000, and we're still perplexed, bewildered, baffled, stumped. Still, tide pool's dead at your feet. I mean, you think about my historic work, and I'm not a YouTube blogger. I'm a PhD. I'm a real activist. I'm a scientist. And so, marine biologist in the desert of Utah. Because the marine biologists in California won't do it. I have to do it. Not to mention Russian syndrome. And you can laugh at that all you want. Russian syndrome. The ecological catastrophe on the peninsula. It's got into the Japanese trench. That trench goes right to the Peninsula Trench. On cue. Volcanic. It's the most active volcanic region on Earth. You know what kind of earthquakes have been there over time? And they built a nuclear reactor. That's what my grandson. He was born March 2011. Really, Grandpa? They built nuclear reactors on the Ring of Fire? Yeah. There's a PhD out there now trying to... I did my PhD in the 90s identifying all these most dangerous reactors. Fukushima is my top 5. Why do you think I've worked so hard to shut down San Onofre? It was number 1 with me. We got to shut down. in the dry cask. We got to get it moved. Number 3 is Diablo Canyon. And this PhD comes out and doesn't even list Diablo Canyon as danger on it. Diablo Canyon is still going. TikTok, Diablo Canyon. Oh my God. It's on the Ring of Fire. Hello. So, Russia syndrome. There's no doubt in my mind. And I told you 4 weeks ago that TASS, when I have to get information from TASS, state-run media in Russia, I mean, you think about that. U.S., oh my God, look what they've done to YouTube. So, I told you 4 weeks ago, Greenpeace, the Russian Environmental Agency, I just read today back through their stuff, ruled out fuel. They ruled it out. Maybe algae plume, maybe. No, that's not it. It wouldn't be this catastrophic. It's scientists are mystified, baffled, stumped, perplexed. Why do you think they work so hard on covering up Fukushima? Because that's just more evidence that it's nuclear. You know, nuclear energy crime scene. It has all the wealth, they have all the power, they have all the money. You know, but they went too far this time. So Russian syndrome's very real, and it's broke through the plate. You know, it's in the trench. There's no doubt in my mind that's what it is, because it's new, which I named it Fuktonium. That would give political cover for, well, the marine biologists. They're just lazy derelicts. They can't hypothesize that this is new. Well, the meltdowns of Fukushima, Japan, there has never been a nuclear meltdown in the history of the world. Never. I mean, there's been partial ones. You know, at Santa Susana, little SMRs blowing up, but full core nuclear meltdowns. I'm talking a core melting down, a full core melting down. Didn't happen in Chernobyl. One partial core blew up, and it was all that and then some. Mayak blew up. 8-8 on the Russian Sea blew up. Santa Susana blew up. 3 Mile Island melted rods. Never has there been full blown out cores melting down into the earth with, I mean, God, MOX fuel, spent fuel pools blown all over. Never, never, never. Not my words. Lake Barrett, who's running the cleanup of Fukushima, who rented it, his words. To Leslie Saul in 60 minutes, 60 minutes. 3,000 days to tell you what Kevin Blanche told you in 1 hour. So, never happened before, so how could scientists know what's coming off of it? They don't. That's my whole thing. That's why my evidence, my tide pool evidence, my salmon evidence, you know, the Fukushima fire, all hypothesized by Kevin Blanche, and I had it right the whole time. Me oh my, Nobel Prize. And think about it. Done it while full of cancer. I was given 2 months to live in that room right there 9 years ago, right now. Went into the bone marrow transplant on 11/11. Think about that. Just think about that. I did all this work. I'm still in critical condition to this day. No public assistance, no Medicaid. Mike Lee kicks me off Medicaid. And then think about this. I get by with little help. I mean, thank you to everybody who has supported historic work. The work goes on. The work goes on. Oh, been a long time. Almost 10 years. What about our kids? What about the animals? So, stand tuned. Russia syndrome is very real, and it happened. Again, more Kevin Blanch's work. This salmon study from Idaho. Wow. I talked to these guys. I mean, I'm going at it with them. I'm like, you going to believe me when they don't go? Oh, they'll come home. We're going to watch them all the way. I said, they're not dying by dams. They're going to die in the ocean. Oh, no, Kevin. Oh, no. And he says that we're perplexed after all this. Perplexed, bewildered, stumped, baffled. I mean, it goes on and on. Befuddled, Martin said. Don't forget befuddled. Curious, alarmed. You name it, they've used it. Me oh my, Nobel Prize. See you in D.C. Stand tuned.